All right, in the left corner we have Night Fox Yo-Ho.
Woo!
And
Yeah!
in the
Woo!
right corner we have
Woo!
Armored Necrocina. This
Fuck
is
that
going to be a
guy. Boo.
matchup of two
Boo.
T3 Guardians. Who will emerge
Boo.
victorious?
Night Fox Yo-Ho!
I'm
Night Fox
pretty
Yo-Ho!
sure it's just Yo-Ho, honestly.
I mean, Night Fox Yo-Ho certainly had the most tickets sold of any of these
NFY!
Guardians.
NFY!
And having a lot of fans does indeed give you a lot of
Step on me,
push to go
mommy.
forward in the tournament.
Oh, bite me!
My question is, Night Fox Yo-Ho,
Shove your tail up my ass!
the attack that Night Fox Yo-Ho has access to, she has some dashes, she has some pounces. She has the secret technique of transforming her opponents.
Distracting the enemy.
Honestly, I don't even think she'll need to break out in this matchup. I think Armored
She also
Armored
breathes
Narcissus-
fire and she controls flame
Yeah, yeah.
orbs.
She does all of that. Whereas Armored Necrocina, I'm pretty sure his main attack is flailing about and sucking off mana. And
Yeah.
I think that Night Fox Yo-Ho doesn't even need to use abilities and can pick apart Armored
He also
Necrocina.
Night Fox also
She's too
summons
fast.
minions.
She's too fast
True.
to get caught by the Scorpion. I think it's a pretty easy push forward for Night Fox Yo-Ho. Barely even broke a sweat. Although Worm was really hoping she would get sweaty.
I was
Don't
really
worry,
hoping
Worm.
she gets sweaty.
There's a
Or
lot
her
of
minions. Her minions could get sweaty. That'd be fine too.
there's a lot of I mean, I'm sure they were out serving concessions. Didn't even to be called to the match.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
And they were
I
providing
would
they were
like
they were
to-
providing the fan service. They were the cheerleaders
There you
on
go.
the sidelines.
Night
Wearing
Fox
even
Yo-Ho
less than usual.
advances. We're on to round 2. So round 2, we have a matchup of some T1 Guardians. We
Ooh,
have
nice.
Titalos and Velganos. Or no, Velganos isn't T1.
I need a
It's
drink.
T3.
I need a drink.
You know what? I've played this video game. So this is a classic all-time matchup. This is dog versus cat.
Eggs AFK.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
he probably still has the headset on, so hopefully he can hear
True.
our introductions. Titalos is a very fearsome beast, and I think for the purposes of this tournament, he's coming unchained. This is the unnerfed Titalos. Certainly
Nice.
one of our strongest contenders, because he
Certainly.
has a one-shot mechanic. However,
Certainly.
Velganos is also one of our strongest contenders. To be a matchup in round 1 is surely disappointing to half of the fans in today's audience, because this is a real heavyweight bout.
This is like Goku versus Vegeta in the first round.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not even sure who gets the win here.
I think
Titalos.
Titalos, because I don't think Velganos knows how to organize shapes and put the square shape in
That's
the
not
square hole.
Titalos. That's not
Titalos. Oh,
that's
fuck.
not Titalos.
Who's that?
That's Akades.
Oh fuck, my bad. Okay,
Yeah,
never
Titalos
mind.
is-
Velganos easily win. Velganos easily wins this matchup. If this was Velganos versus Akades, it'd be closer. But Velganos just wins.
I think Velganos can also get the win here. I think Titalos' main gimmick is that he has positional requirements and timing requirements. And I think Velganos is simultaneously fast enough and smart enough to be able to get stunned at the right time and is able to stop the balls from being spawned. In
Titalos
addition
also
to
just
having
has
a lot of output of damage.
Titalos also just really only has like the summon the waves, the things, and then the shockwave. Whereas Velganos has got the like 4 different pounces. He can teleport. He can leap into the sky and then land.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus the pizza.
and
fast.
that. Also, he's just constantly degrading you because anytime you're fighting him, the darkness is just sucking away your energy.
I will
True.
say, however, that Titalos is definitely going to meet the stagger requirement. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
smart enough to do the stagger properly. Also, he's smart enough to keep his stacks up. I don't think this is an easy matchup for Velganos, but I do agree that he has the edge over Titalos. it will be quite a match though to watch. But yeah, I agree. Velganos definitely moves forward. Definitely has to overcome Titleos' one shot, but in doing so, really pushes him into a corner, and Titleos can't overpower him. All right. This is a very interesting match, our next match, our third match of the day. We have, in the left corner, in the red trunks, Lava Chromanium.
The red truck.
In the right
Nice.
corner, in also red trunks, but they're slightly brown, regular ass Chromanium. Again, folks, I will remind you, I did not see this myself. These were random seeds.
Fucking
I don't know that
chonkers, man.
anyone showed up today rooting for Chromanium.
because his big brother
So-
Lava Chromanium is just bigger and better.
I think that this is a matchup that Lava Chromanium could stand to learn a lot from, but he's not going to learn any lessons.
He's a
This
turtle.
is a sibling rivalry
He's a turtle.
that has gone on for a long time. Surely they have fought each other in their youth as they've grown up. Lava Chromanium went off to college, and now he's returned to his hometown, and Chromanium has tried to go get one over on him for old time's sake and show that he's grown while his brother is away. But so has Lava Chromanium.
Yeah, he literally breathes
And-
fire now.
In a no-holds-barred match, Lava Chromanium almost toys with him. And
Rude.
I think that if you were here to watch Chromanium, you leave a little bit disappointed today because he gets absolutely thrashed.
Trash
And
canned.
All of Chromanium's attacks, Lava Chromanium does, but they just have more impact. So
yeah,
Oof.
this is gonna be-
Chromanium shoots a missile, it lands on Lava Chromanium, he absorbs the missile and then fires it back.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be one of our longer matches, but also with.
Also,
a
it took
clear
them
victor.
5 minutes to walk into the arena.
Right.
We also had to get a new stadium for this shit because moving these turtles in here is fucking hard.
You're fucking.
Yeah,
oh,
this
wait.
will be one of our first, but definitely not our last stadium replacements, as the artillery barrages of the turtles does leave quite a havoc amongst the stands. Everyone did sign a release form before
course.
entering today, so we can't be held liable for the deaths. But
Of a large chunk of our audience.
Some of them are also turtles, so they're fine.
yeah, certainly.
It's like they're coming to watch hockey, honestly.
Lava Chromanium and Chromanium's parents were in the stands today,
Oops,
and I think
that-
they're a little bit
that wasn't even
disappointed in
close.
their elder son because he's really supposed to
Let the younger sibling win.
younger sibling win from time to time, but you can tell that that's never happened. Chromanium has never won one over on his older sibling,
No mercy.
and Lava Chromanium will have it stay that way, but he advances to the next round. Next up, in our fourth match of the day, we have Icy Lagoros versus Akatis.
Oh.
Finally, we get to our shape match that Warren was so looking forward to.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have to say, honest analysis here. Icy Lagoros is kind of just done. He gets
I don't know
run.
what to do with this.
He gets run over by Akatis without Akatis even doing any mechanics. Like,
I don't think that happens. I think Icy Lagoros is.
just in terms
One.
of size,
think
Akatis is
this
fucking
is-
huge and can fly all of the time.
I think this is going to be pretty arena dependent. I think that after having to rebuild our stage from
Yeah,
the
we're in an
Chromanium
open
scenario.
we're in a giant open area now with an open stadium.
Open dome.
Well, when
Open
we
dome.
rebuilt it, I think that there was a little bit of embezzlement going on, and we just happened to build it in the frozen tundra. And again, I will say the seating was random.
Ooh, wait. Oh, I know. I don't know how to make this better. Put the maps into a random seating too, and then have that RNG draw, so it can be any of the maps. You know all the
Like
maps.
that sounds like a lot of work.
Put it in.
No.
Well, then we can't put this. Then he's not in an icy tundra.
Well, that's too bad. Do you know how to? Yes, and Eggman. What the fuck? Don't tell me no. That's you're flubbing your lines.
Don't you know how this relationship works?
Icy tundra. I wonder who's gonna win in an icy tundra.
Yeah, it's a real mystery.
The icy guy?
There might be some benevolent benefactors in the background that have a reason for Icy Lagoros to be pushed ahead.
Or a reason to take Akati's out.
Or a reason to take Akati's out. Maybe they don't like shapes.
I think that's
All I
probably
know
what
is
it is.
that in this new land that we have built our Icy Tundra upon,
You have to counter
Icy
that, by the way.
Lagoros does have a way of pulling Akati's out of the sky, which is that he makes a blizzard and then pushes it down. Now, I still think that this is an incredibly close matchup because Akati's will have to actually use his abilities, and I'm not confident that Icy Lagoros knows how to shape match.
Yep.
So it's
Same.
possible that Icy Lagoros still loses, but only after Akati's has to expend some amount of his energy. And so I'll agree that Akati's moves on here, but I do think
Crazy.
that we have gone against the wishes of a shadowy benefactor that may come back to haunt us as the tournament organizers in the future.
I don't think it was our fault.
So we're gonna push Akati's ahead here.
Yep. It just happened, guys.
Meanwhile, in the back room, we're gonna have some complaints to deal with.
Yeah. What do you mean
Next
you
up
did?
in
What
the
do you mean you
tournament.
didn't put a sedative in his food?
Ominous. I got a title. Egg for that quest. Ominous.
Nice.
And 200
He's
gold.
blasting. Next up
Right
on
out of my
our
party.
bracket tournament is
Oh, I just didn't leave. Sorry.
Hanumatan. I've literally never seen Hanumatan. He's a mystery participant.
He's a gigantic gorilla.
Oh!
You ever fought the dude on Unknown Island?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
like
think so.
he's like a bigger version. He's an armored version of the monkey from Unknown Island.
You've done Punica, right?
Interesting. Yes.
He's
Punica has
the laser beam
has
monkey with the eye.
monkeys.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
the king of them. He's the king monkey. Velvet, come here.
Monkey.
Okay. So we have King Monkey Hanumatan in the left corner. In the right corner, in the red trunks, we have Helgia Fireburb. I think that if what you're
Fireworks.
saying is true,
Monkey.
that Hanumatan is basically King Kong
Also,
but with lasers.
Well, yeah, no, he doesn't do lasers. He controls elements. He can do earth, water, wind, fire.
Ooh.
He's got all of them.
Okay. Well, then
And
he's
he's
got the weakness.
he wears
Rubber.
he wears a bunch of different armor too. And like when you break one set of armor, he retreats into like the mists and then comes out with another set of armor.
I don't
Sounds
even
pretty
think.
sweet.
I think that this is pretty one-sided. I don't think Helgia can even break the armor.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
even the first
Helgia
set?
literally gets ripped out of the sky when he monkey leaps up onto him, and
Whee!
Hanumatan like rips like it's a fucking brutal match.
Oh, yeah.
Hanumatan
He beats him
is-
into a pulp. There's not even a
Okay,
body
I've got-
left.
he
I've got-
actually just takes the burb's wings and rips them off, and then beats the pulp of Helgia
Alright.
Yeah.
with.
I've got a puppy.
Is that Minnie?
No, this is
What is
Velvet.
Robo? Oh, it's Velvet. Oh, it's so cute. Hi,
Oh.
Velvet. I like your desk too. The curve.
hmm
That's actually kind of cool. I want one.
Velvet is very scared of fireworks, so they're happening outside.
Why are fireworks happening?
Because I live right
In Texas.
Oh, makes sense.
over the valley behind me is Six Flags.
I see.
Are there fireworks every Saturday?
Yep.
Oh, rip.
No
dude.
one else
Poor
is here.
Velvet.
Nobody else is here right now. So it's
Velvet.
he's in my lap.
Need protect.
Yeah.
Need protect. Velvet. Poor little.
Are we all
poor
in
little
agreement that
girl.
Hanumatan?
Yeah,
is-
Hanu
Yeah.
easily.
Oh yeah.
Hanu smash.
Oh yeah. Bird's not coming to any more tournaments.
I think that Hanumatan certainly attracted an audience today, and has some new fans that are hyper
Peeing their
violent.
pants.
And
Yeah.
we're definitely going to need to, in his next match, keep an eye on those people. Put them on a
Oh
watch
fuck!
list.
I got a piece of relic gear.
Yeah, that's what happens. You
I
do.
totally forgot.
Yeah, relic gear is now something you can wear, or well, relic
Oh.
accessories
Oh no.
and a relic stone.
Cool.
Next up, we
Uh-huh.
have the match between Lumaris and Caligos, the dragon.
Oh my, I feel bad for Lumaris here. Okay, I'll explain what Caligos does. He is lightning version of Calventus, but like really fucking fast moving, and he just summons domes and lightnings and just has a bunch of one-shot mechanics. And he's very fucking evasive.
He's a lightning dragon.
Yeah, he's a lightning dragon. He's very fucking like he would give Hanu a run for their money in terms of raw power. He's just a very strong dragon. Not even like talking about like what gear score you find about. He's literally just got a loaded kit.
Right. And Lumaris is literally just a large lion.
Yeah. And we're not even talking Lumaris
has
Plus
some,
here. He
like-
can't even breathe whatever breath.
He
Or
has
are we
some,
talking
like-
Lumaris Plus?
I mean, I think we can give him his strongest version of himself.
Yeah, okay, then he can at least breathe like mist or whatever the fuck he breathes.
Yeah, but I still don't think that gives him any shot against like an actual dragon.
Yeah.
I think there's no doubt that Eligos has a lot of fans in attendance today. Who doesn't want to be a fan of a dragon? He's actually just one of our dominant performers every year. So he's definitely the Patriots of
I don't
cage
understand that
matches.
reference.
You don't know what the Patriots are in football?
No.
Okay.
Even I know, but
You
They're,
don't have to tell me. I'm just letting you know.
they're a team that's been good for a long time and it wins a lot, which is what Eligos is.
Ah,
He's just always
he
been
wins.
good, and he wins a lot. And he has attracted a lot of fans who like winning. They might not necessarily like the sport, but they like winning. And I think they're not disappointed today. That we got a admittedly easy round one. Lumaris probably wasn't gonna beat many of his opponents, but definitely not Eligos. So he's sliding through without much issue.
Oh, he wasn't facing me. Lol. Tried to counter him.
Next on our bracket tournament, we have Ernil. Again, strongest version of Ernil.
okay.
Versus
Versus-
Congalanium.
Oh. Oh, poor bear.
You think so?
I think
The bear has
Congalanium,
no attack that can penetrate
we
that
need to
shell.
Remember that we're still none of our
Hang on,
previous
hang on.
matches have-
Has this arena somehow been rebuilt as the lava stadium?
No, we're still in the tundra
Okay.
because of the Chromanium fight, and we've had no matchups that have caused destruction because they've all just been. I will reiterate that since making the icy platform, we've gone through Icy Legoros and Akatis, which pushed Akatis forward, much to the chagrin of his benefactor. Hanu Matin versus Helgia, which was just a bloodbath in the snow. Helgia wouldn't have even won in a fire zone, but certainly doesn't win in the tundra. Lumaris and Eligos, which wouldn't have mattered the terrain. Eligos dominates even in the
He's
north,
also from the
even in
tundra.
south. Just absolute destruction. And so now we're still in the frozen wastes, Ernil and Congalanium. I don't even know that Ernil lands a hit. I think it's just absolute domination from Congalanium.
But it-
Honestly, I think if you're Congalanium, you kind of feel peeved that you even had to show up today. You should have just got passed through.
Just give me the
Ernil
win.
shouldn't
kid.
have even been invited.
Where's my buy?
Yeah, so like to put it this way, Congalanium's abilities are a gigantic ice barrage, like 3 different versions. He can summon an avalanche, and he can also cause a literal blizzard.
Ernil's ability is that he flips backwards sometimes.
And Scritchy
has a
scratches.
very very short dash forward.
There's some pretty strong scritchy scratchers in this game, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ernils is not one of the strong scritchy scratchers.
Oh,
Also, he has no way of destroying the armor on Congolanium.
Because Congolanium's
So,
weak
yeah,
point of
it's-
his armor is on the very top of his shell, which he would not be able to reach.
He doesn't even get close. Ernil just completely destroyed. I think after the match, Congolanium grabs the mic and he issues a challenge for Lava Chromanium because he was there watching the matchup earlier. And that's a fight that might not happen due to the way the bracket's set up. If they were to meet, it wouldn't be until the it wouldn't be until the finals if they were to meet up. But I think that Congolanium, he's like the uncle of the Chromanium family, and he's trying to set Lava Chromanium on the right path,
Uh-huh.
and he's wants to do it through force because that's really the only language that he thinks Lava Chromanium will understand.
It's only turtle language.
And
Yeah.
so he issues a proclamation to him, but it's the tournament, so they can't hash it out yet.
Edge.
But maybe in the future we'll have that matchup. The next matchup will be between
We'll do Vaulted when we
Calvintus-
get through this bracket.
The next matchup will be between Calvintus and Erection, the Erect.
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
uh-huh.
this one's actually probably the most interesting matchup we've had so far.
Certainly, it's a well-balanced matchup. Good job, bracket creators.
But Erection just has like the control of like which state is he in? Are we talking like he's got control over when he switches his states, or is he just going off of being pummeled and he just switches when he gets pummeled?
I think
it's just
that
instinct. I think he goes when he gets pummeled.
yeah, he definitely doesn't have control over it. And he starts out in darkness form, so I mean, let's just get this out of the way. Calvintus isn't exactly our smartest participant. Like, he may be
But he is a dragon. He's the
Right.
younger sibling of Caligos, yeah.
Yeah, and is a bit too hyperactive and definitely not very attentive. And so I think that he would go into the matchup and would attack Aggression thinking that he has similar tactics to himself, both of them starting out in darkness form. And then from there, once Aggression switches, I think first off, there's no way Calvintus knows to stop attacking during the switch. Because while
Of course.
Aggression's powering up and doesn't take much damage, Calvintus would still be in there throwing his left hook. His
Erection's
right
also
hook,
just
trying
very
to fight
tanky,
things.
yeah.
Aggression would just shrug it off, switch phases, and then once he's in gravity phase, I think Calvintus loses
Has no
almost
attack.
immediately because he's just going to get bogged
I think
down.
Calvintus
and run
can.
down.
Yeah, it'll be a looking one-sided fight, and then he'll switch to gravity mode, and it'll be like, oh my god, who invited that monster to the fucking fight? And then if Calvintus did even do damage and get him out of gravity mode, lava mode is even worse.
Yeah,
and
there's no chance. There's no chance lava mode even has to be used here. Calvintus does not put up enough of a threat to proc lava mode for Aggression. Aggression just runs him down in gravity mode.
The Lava Chromanium has the fucking secret tech of when he gets to be 15% life, he just starts fucking expunging waves of lava. He didn't even have to use that.
I think that Aggression, it's our second most violent matchup so far. Doesn't come close to Hanumaton, where he just actually rips
Dismembers
limb
the
from
board.
limb,
Yeah.
the burb.
Yeah.
But I think Aggression, he doesn't hold anything back. Like, he got forced out of darkness mode, and
He doesn't even know how we don't even know how we got him into the arena, honestly.
I don't say he rips apart like the wings of Calvintus or even like takes his tail off, but there are chunks of Calvintus missing after this fight. And that's what you sign up for when you enter the Guardian cage match. But Aggression definitely moves on.
We sell splendid healing potions. That's a concession
Yeah.
stand.
Of course.
But at least Calvintus will get to be invited back. Unlike Helgia, who might not be able to participate ever again.
Yeah. Oof.
Broken beyond repair. All right, we're moving on to our 9th match.
Wow.
We have Dark Lagoros
Hmm.
These matches are
versus
going really well.
Alberhastic.
Oh
Ooh.
no.
I've been looking forward to seeing Alberhastic. I'll say, personally, that I am an Alberhastic fan.
Which form
Uh-oh.
is he
He's
spawning
definitely
in?
my home team.
Is he an
It's
emperor?
random.
Okay. He loses in one of these, like 2 of the forms.
The
But
Dark Lagoros?
yeah, he's pretty useless in non-crowned spear form. Or he's just walking on the ground jabbing. Yeah, he's pretty useless.
I don't think any of the
But he
matchups are-
but he would switch forms upon getting damaged.
I mean, I'll admit that I'm an Alberhastic fan. That Alberhastic is my home team.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that he's the strongest participant we have today, but he's the one that I'm rooting for. And I think that Dark Lagoros is...
You already do your cast dungeons on your main worm? Sorry, 1 second.
I'm done with everything except for
You should have saved your
Raid.
14, 15 dungeons.
yeah, I didn't think about it. It's fine, it's one day. I'm not fucking worried about it at all.
I think Dark Lagoros is highly reliant upon trickery and deception in order to...
He does have a pretty...
Win.
He can blind you with pretty... He could land a blind pretty easy, or at least a movement, or at least a vision deterrent on
Right,
Sure.
right.
Alberhastic.
But
Alberhastic
I
just has
think-
the ability to fly when enraged.
and is probably the smartest participant in our tournament today.
I would think so.
And his effects while being blinded is a detriment.
This is the first time my character... Sorry, this is weird. My character's not facing the person that I'm talking to. I'm facing the fucking screen. The first time I've ever seen this during an interaction. Sorry. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Wowing.
Wow.
Wow.
You can see your swimsuit in full view.
Yeah, the banana hammock.
I think that Alberhastic has a large area to a lot of his abilities, so
Yes.
the blind wouldn't be as much of a detriment to him.
He also just literally like wipes the screen with half of his skills and half of his forms.
Yeah, so
And then in his
I
other
think that
2,
this-
he's very fast.
I think that this is a decidedly good matchup. Again, I will note that the matchups were made.
This feels like Dark
randomly.
Lagoros just gets kind of run over.
Yeah, I think that it is definitely a matchup where I don't think Alberhastic has any easy matchups. I think he has to try a lot for all of his wins. But I think that this is a matchup where he is well suited for victory and is able to put on a good performance with it as well. So I think that as a fan of the sport, this is a good one to watch. As are all of Alberhastic's matches. They're just entertaining. And definitely he pulls ahead of Dark Lagoros.
Yeah. Red
So that's
Blazer's
it
not
for
here.
that's it for round 1 of the
Wow.
tournament. So we're moving on to
was-
round 2. We'll
that
be
was
seeing
nice.
some new names still going into round 2, but that's only because they had buys off of the first round.
Ah, of course.
These were decided
So-
randomly.
These were decided randomly, yes. So, ironically, our number 1 seed is Nacrocena. Now, if you will recall back to our first matchup of the day, it was Night Fox Yoho versus Armored Nacrocena, where Night Fox Yoho emerged victorious to the joy of Worm and
Yes.
fans.
Wait, what's this
and is
matchup?
moving on to face the number 1 seeded regular Nacrocena
Ah,
versus Night Fox Yoho. I don't think much needs to be said here other than we sold a lot of tickets to this matchup.
Yoho was honestly just playing this one for show points at this point. She's getting more fans here.
Having already experienced Armored Nacrocena, it's like just such an easy matchup for her. So,
It's
Some
at least
people
very
some people
entertaining.
question if he just took off his armor and tried to re-enter the fight. Honestly,
right.
just to
He
get
just
just to
wanted
get
to be stepped on
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah. He is a scorpion.
And I think that probably did happen. And you know what? We're allowing it. Again, I will say that the seeding was done randomly, so no shadowy organizations can hold me liable. Thank you.
yet.
Yet, even though they will come after me.
Yep.
Okay, next fight.
We're moving on to our second fight, which is, or our second round, which is Lava Chromanium, who defeated Chromanium, and Velganos, who defeated Titalos.
Nice.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Spicy,
I
honestly.
think, not to be too quaint, but Lava Chromanium definitely has a fire under him after the call out from Congolanium.
I think so.
And so he feels that he has a lot to prove here. That he's not just some hothead, that he has a right to the Lanium legacy. And
He's literally just the. He literally, like, Lava Chromanium is just the guy, the, like, hero's quote unquote rival from every anime ever. The hot headed, doesn't know when to stop, goes in fist punching, no thought process.
I think Velganos is a pretty difficult matchup for him. In some ways, because Velganos is fast. But in other ways, I don't think Velganos has the raw firepower to break through Lava Chromanium. I think that this is a matchup.
I think it's really
where,
interesting they both have enrages, so.
Yeah, I think this is a matchup where Lava Chromanium comes into the fight with a chip on his shoulder, and he really isn't all in on the fight. He's definitely distracted, and Velganos takes advantage of that. He really pushes Lava Chromanium into a series of annoying attacks where he can't really get a hit landed on him. And unfortunately, he's never able unfortunately for Velganos, he's never able to capitalize on the destruction required to really push Lava Chromanium
He didn't bring corrosive bombs.
to the end. And so all he ends up doing is pushing Lava Chromanium into his waves of fire form. And once that activates, it since that activated first before Velganos.
We're still in the
rage-
frozen tundra.
Yeah.
So this attack's going to be way less effective in the frozen tundra.
I will admit that that does have an effect, yeah. But I think that since Velganos pushed Lava Chromanium to his enrage first, that Lava Chromanium would then be able to refocus onto the fight at hand and would be able to take home the victory because he didn't have to deal with Velganos' enrage for as long. I mean, I could also see this going the other way, because I could see that Lava Chromanium is a turtle, and he couldn't pick up the light orbs in order to deal full damage to Velganos. So it's possible that Velganos plays this fight to where he stacks up his darkness debuffs and just never allows Chromanium to pick up any light orbs, and is able to pull home the win that way. So I could see this fight going either way, but I think that due to the pure desire to go and fight Congolanium later, that Lava Chromanium is able to pull through. But he definitely gets pushed to the edge, and all his friends are dead.
I think that Belgados just has a hard time finishing off a gigantic turtle. I think the turtles just have a durability rating higher than a fox or a wolf. Unfortunately.
I am getting a lot of complaints in that we didn't allow bombs to be brought to this tournament, and that does feel like it gives the turtles an unfair edge. But those are the rules, you know. Everyone knew that before they signed up for the tournament. Maybe in the next tournament we'll bring battle items, but they didn't get brought for this tournament. How do you see this one going down, Worm? Mr. Muncher? Oh no, they got him. The Cabal.
I've been muted. I've been agreeing with you the whole time.
Okay.
That they both just do so little damage to each other. But in the end, the turtle's used to it and the turtle wins.
Okay, thank you for coming back from the Cabal's clutches, Worm.
Okay, I'm gonna mute again. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back.
All right, good luck. I think that Cromanium, or it's definitely a slow fight, as Worm alluded to, because Cromanium gets debuffed. He can't do full damage. He is a turtle, so he can't take much damage. And that even though he's debuffed by the cold weather, he's, I'm not going to say used to the cold because he grew up in a cold household. I think that would be too unfair to Papa and Mama Cromanium, but they weren't home. They had to go off to work to provide, and that can sometimes leave you feeling a bit cold. And so I think Lava Cromanium takes this one and moves ahead. I don't know that he learned any lessons from this round, other than getting to his enrage can be helpful to him. But he definitely is still focused on getting his revenge on Congolanium. I do think that he's a bit too exhausted from the fight to make any statements. And we're moving on to our next round. So this round features another character who had a bye, which is Descaluda. I think Descaluda has a lot going for him in this, but we'll see who his opponent is. His opponent did not have a bye, obviously, and in the first round faced off against Eligos. And much to the chagrin of the Cabal, Akates was able to pull ahead and now finds himself against the green chicken.
Actually kind of tough for Akates because like his one big advantage is that he kind of fly, but
He can't fly as well as Descaluda.
Yeah, this bird really can fly. And Descaluda's got a lot of attacks too. Like I say that he's like the easiest guardian. That's because in game mechanic wise, to the amount of damage he doesn't do that much damage to a player at the point you're at. But he does have a fucking large arsenal of big attacks. Like he's got like 4 different laser patterns. He's got like a defensive huddle where if you stand too close to him, he'll stun you repeatedly. He has the ability to like heal himself. I don't know.
I think Akates is swift enough and smart enough to be able to dodge attacks, though.
I think Descaluda is not smart enough to handle the shapes. He's also a bird.
A big question is that's a big question always versus Akates is can you handle the shapes? And also Akates has some pretty devastating laser attacks. So I think Descaluda has a better matchup than Eligos, even though we're still in the tundra. But I still think Akates might take the win here. I think that Akates is going to be another hard fought match, even harder than last time for Akates. But I think after this one, like you have to gain some respect for the large lion with shapes. I think he's going to gain a lot of fans from this matchup because he's able to prevail.
Also, could Descaluda meet the destruction check to even get Akates' wings to be disabled?
I think he could. I think he has enough abilities that certainly some of them have to be a destruction ability. And that even after losing his wings, Akates would still be able to pull through and win the matchup because he would be able to... Descaluda wouldn't be able to capitalize on the wings being destroyed. Like, he doesn't do enough damage all at once that he could destroy and then capitalize. He could destroy it, but then he wouldn't be able to push for the kill before another shape phase came up, and there's no way Descaluda is doing the shapes correctly.
Okay, hold on a minute before we continue.
Okay,
this.
hold on.
Look
No.
Wait, look at this guy on my screen. Look at this guy on my screen.
My headphones on. I have my headphones on. I have to vehemently
Holy fuck, he's almost gotten it.
Almost got line estimation
Giga
30.
Chad.
He's
He
also
is a Giga Chad.
216 roster level.
Oh
This
lord.
man plays the video game.
But he's only 64 stronghold. How is that possible?
He just
They
doesn't
don't
visit
do
it.
the stronghold stuff. You don't need it, right?
Like the last important thing is at 65, but like still, like you figure you at least get rush 65.
I don't know. Okay, so anyway, birds are really smart, especially about shapes and colors. I think
But his
think
Descaluda is
Descaluda-
smart.
I think Descaluda has a very high chance of being at least really good with colors and probably surprises us all.
The hidden intellect of a burb.
I think Descaluda, like,
I think Descaluda puts up a fight, but I think that Akadi's is stacked in terms of mechanic, even more
That's
so than
possible.
Bird.
That's possible.
I think you
But I didn't want to write Bird off on the intelligence.
I mean, I write him off. I don't write all burbs off on intelligence. For instance, Helgia, who no longer has a brain because it got beat out of him
True.
in the previous matchup. But while it was in his head, I think Helgia is pretty smart. But Descaluda is a dumb burb. As evidenced by...
I don't know. He knows a lot of attacks.
Yeah, but none of them hit very hard. And they're all avoidable.
Yeah, but
If you
knowing
were-
a lot of things is also a sign of intelligence.
Yeah, but if you don't know them very deeply, I think that's also a sign of trying to compensate for being dumb by shallowly knowing a lot of things. I might have put myself in this post a bit too much.
Put the light under his own gas.
I do think that it's a difficult fight, and that Akati is pushed even further than in the IC Lagoros matchup. But I think that he is able to overcome and is able to move on to our next round. Our next matchup is another bye for Levinos. Tree. And he is going to be fighting Panu Matin. This is an interesting matchup. A monkey versus a tree.
A very smart tree.
Huh.
Lumaris is very intelligent.
And has an enrage.
So is Hanu, though. Hanu's the smartest of the Guardians that we fought. Like, he's very smart monkey.
I think that Hanu. So I think the matchup goes down where they both enter the ring, and Hanu Matin charges up to Levinos and beats on his chest. Levanos' chest, not his own chest. And Levinos is forced into using his spirit tree maneuver. And that's exactly the trap that Hanu was hoping he would use. Hanu then proceeds to take the tree, snap it in half, and now he dual wields and starts beating the shit out of Levanos with his own tree. It's not quite as bloody as Hanu's previous matchup, seeing as
Hanu does, when you hit him a
doesn't have
bunch,
blood.
Hanu does have an attack. When you hit him a bunch, he will pick you up and pummel you. Yeah, picking up the tree and using it to beat the shit out of him seems like a valuable strategy.
And I think that Levanos would desperately try to enrage, but Hanu is easily able to meet the destruction.
Also, Hanu
check.
has an enrage. So if he
I
did
don't
get
think he's- I don't
damage,
even think he's forced to get to there. I think that this is just a fucking raw, visceral attack matchup. I don't know that, like, Levinos tries to get some abilities off, but they're clearly desperation abilities that have no hope of connecting. And it's just raw offense from the monkey as he just beats the shit out of the tree with a tree.
Pretty brutal.
Like Levinos would be summoning lines on the ground. They're not even close. He'd be doing his little charge thing. It's in the wrong direction. He'd be trying to teleport away. Suddenly Hanu's there behind him,
Monkey.
just beating the shit out of him.
Suddenly, monkey.
Just easy Hanu proceeds. And we're moving on to our next round. I think that
Which region is SA?
before we move on to the next round, I will say that the fans that Hanu picked up in the first round, who were there to see blood, were probably a little disappointed in this round
I saw a tree.
because the tree can't bleed. And so
Apps all over the place though.
I think that we're going to be having to face a lot of refunds on our tickets. And that might hurt our business, but you know, we'll try and get some
Any
concessions
Levinos fans are in utter despair.
Yeah. They were here, they were like, "Oh, finally we get to see Levinos. He got to buy the first round. Surely he'll have a good matchup." And he gets the shit beat out of him. It's
Okay.
pretty disappointing to the tree huggers. And certainly they were not converted into Hanu fans. But you know, there is another tree yet to come. So maybe they'll convert to his fans. In our next matchup, we have another burb, Frost Helgia. And this is a pretty exciting matchup. Pretty close matchup between Eligos and Frost Helgia. Lightning versus Frost. And I will remind you, we are still in the tundra.
Caligos also is from the tundra, though.
Yeah, but does he derive his strength from the snow in the same way that Frost Helgia will?
I feel like Helgia is just not defensive enough.
I think that's a fair assessment. But I think that Frost Helgia is evasive enough that it puts up a good match. I agree with you that Cal Eligos is probably the favored and probably the victor, but
Definitely
I
think
do
this is
the
a
matchup
this
is
is a
kinda
this is a
close.
this is a, definitely a skirmish.
This might even be a matchup that ends the stadium, where we've had a lot of matchups in this stadium. We've had a tree beaten to death inside of it. We've had erection suck the gravity in the arena. Like this arena has seen a lot of beating, and I think that this might be the time where we need to replace the arena after this match, because the devastation wrought
Need a new
by
budget.
Cal Eligos as he rips apart the arena trying to attack the very evasive Frostburb. Just it wrecks the arena. So I think after this one we need to replace the arena, and the question is, where do we build the next arena? And I've received some funding from a shadowy corporation that has some great territory available to us, a property right next to a volcano, and it seems like a really great place to build our next arena. There is lava flows currently active. However, I'm told that the ground is stable and that it'll be really good for our tournament.
So this current match, we're thinking,
This next match is taking place in Firelands.
but the Caligos and Frostbird one took place
Yeah,
in tundra. The Caligos pulled ahead.
I think that he just has too much raw power that he's able to.
I think it's more of a. I think it's a death. I think it's not a death. I think it's a knockout of the Frostbird. I think they're both pretty exhausted, but the Frostbird just ends up getting tuckered out at the end of it.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment. That it's really one decisive blow at the end that isn't like a kill shot, but it's definitely a you're not able to continue the fight afterwards for the Frostburb. Some would say it's a lucky hit. Some would say it's all skill. there's haters everywhere. In our next fight, we have Flame Fox Yoho. Very convenient that we just built our arena in the lava zone. And Flame Fox Yoho is going to be taking on Congalanium.
Did you sponsor this stadium?
Uh-huh.
I'm not at liberty to divulge our benefactor's identity, but let's just say they were very generous with their donation.
Gigantic ice turtle in lava field
in-
versus
in
fire
lap
fox.
dances.
But even still, even with this definitely not planned unfair field advantage,
No,
I still
definitely
think
no advantages.
that Flame Fox Yoho is lacking in offensive power for a gigantic ice turtle. His shell will be weakened by the heat, but are her attacks strong enough to do the damage?
even a weakened Congalanium.
Unfortunately, I
strong
think
enough.
her minions don't do anything.
Yeah.
No.
She also doesn't summon minions as fire.
Turtle has so much AoE.
Doesn't summon minions as fire, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You're right.
She does have the ability to, like, she does have a lot of offensive power. It's fire, though.
Uh-huh.
I still think
Right.
it's, like,
And she stacks up debuffs, but
yeah.
none of those are allowing her to break through the shell. And like, if you can't break through Congalanium's shell, he is just able to output so much offense that if you're not able to really just obliterate his
That Bard
defense,
really fucking tried.
Yeah.
a little bit too far on the dash.
Yeah. He was like, slow, dash too far, fuck, go back. Nope, dead.
Like, Congaladium, even though he's in the middle of the fucking lava zone, can still definitely summon a blizzard. It might not be as blistering cold, but he could definitely still...
Oh, you think so? Well, okay, yeah. He can still summon a blizzard, but you're not gonna get frozen from it.
It's gonna definitely do some damage. Definitely gonna slow you down. I don't know. Yoho might Flame
Also-
Fox Yoho might actually have the best chance, but like,
I just think that Flame Fox Yoho is too overconfident. I think that it backfires that she's fighting in the lava zone, as she feels that she doesn't need to take this match seriously. Like
and
she is
it's a big dumb
seen-
stupid turtle.
She has seen her sister, Night Fox Yoho, fight two scorpions back to back and win in hyper convincing fashion. So, having not watched any of the other matches, because she's really only in here occasionally between photo shoots,
Of course.
she just doesn't take the fight seriously, I think. And Congalanium is full serious all the time and is able to win. But I think that at the end, Congalanium, the wise
Excuse me.
uncle father figure Congalanium, like has some kind words for Night Fox Yoho and is really a good sport about it at the end. And I think that this encounter will impact, even though it's a loss, will have a positive impact on Flame Fox Yoho's life going forward.
God damn, somebody get fucking Congaladium an ice pack. It's fucking hot in here.
We
Wait.
did have a large uptick in our ice cream sales at this match because
Yeah.
people were ready to lick
Yep. The ice
You know
cream,
what I mean.
right?
the ice cream. Yes, yeah. Good on Congalanium for pulling out of this one. He still has his eyes on lava, but he didn't even mention him this time. And I think honestly, that's going to get to Lava Chromanium even more. Is that he didn't even get mentioned, and that Congalanium had like kind father figure words for Yoho, because that's the father figure that Lava Chromanium wishes he had in his life.
Oh my god.
It's it's
Yep.
tough out here for the turtles. So in our next match, we have an as yet unseen challenger again, Sonovel versus Eligos.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was ready to fucking give it to Sonovel, but not against that.
Just by default.
Yeah. That's a fucking yikes.
So this is home turf for Aggression.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where Sunnyvale is fought at.
Uh,
Same.
they don't. They don't. Actually, I got. No, I'm going to assume it's the Flame Tundra, or actually, it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a new map. So unclear. Is basically the better answer. Where he'll be fought at.
Neutral.
Okay. So since he is a fire tree, we'll say that he also gets some benefit from the terrain. But I think that Sunnyvale is a fire tree and doesn't really have a strong, like, his affinity isn't well suited to fighting Aggression. Whereas Aggression has home field, definitely, and has the hidden third stage that hasn't yet been revealed in this tournament. My question is, we have the darkness phase of Aggression, and does that provide much of a challenge to Sunnyvale? And I don't know that it does. I think that the darkness phase is yet again just a gimmick. I don't even know why he keeps starting in this phase, but he's gonna get knocked out of it into the gravity phase.
Both rings soul.
Do you think that the gravity phase for Aggression is enough to just push through Sunnyvale and get the victory in gravity phase? Or do you think he gets pushed to Enrage?
Probably Enrage.
Interesting. And then once the Enrage happens, is he strong enough to not just get bursted down? Because he's going to be resisted, right?
Yep.
Or will he be resisted? Like, he's already, the tree is already on fire. It's not
Yeah.
like the extra fire from Aggression is going to really pump out as much damage as you might expect. I think there's a realistic chance that Sunnyvale wins here.
He's a big
Like,
tree.
he's a big tree. I do think that the destruction check can be met by Aggression, especially in gravity phase. Like when he does his big chunky attacks, I think that that can get past the uh, destruction check. But like, I'm not sure that Aggression wins this one.
I mean, I think at the end it becomes if he gets him into enrage mode, he doesn't really have any advantage because that element is like not good against him. So it's kind of just a win for the tree, the big tree boy.
But do you think that by the time, because Aggression's very tanky, do
Yeah.
you think that he's close enough to a win that even though he does get pushed to enrage and he doesn't like, he's definitely weaker
But
in his
Sunnyvale
enrage
also
mode.
has enrage mode.
That's a good point. Do you think it's like a simultaneous enrage and then I think it's very possible that we see the matchup play out where Darkness phase comes first for Aggression. Sunnyvale easily pushes him past that. In Aggression, he is never happy about switching phases. And he's able to pull back a large portion and keep the health bars even going into a simultaneous punch between both that procs Enrage on both of them. But I don't know that Aggression in Enrage beats Sunnyvale in Enrage. So I think Sunnyvale gets the win here,
Yeah.
much to my narrative chagrin, because I was really hoping Aggression would keep pushing forward. But I think the matchup just goes that it's the flaming tree moving forward. That's good for our tree fans who lost Levinos, and they do constitute a large portion of our fan base is the tree huggers.
I don't have the gold to buy a fucking amulet.
Ugh. Next up is our last guardian that had a buy, which is Virtus. and he's going to be facing Alberhastic. Again, in the first round, Alberhastic took out Dark Lagoros. And as is typical for Dark Lagoros matches, as is typical for Alberhastic matches, he had to put in a lot of effort, but wasn't really at any risk of losing. But against Virtus, who is a lizard thing, is aggression but ice. I think that this is a very convenient arena change, and that if this had been in the Tundra, Alberhastic might not have won. But in the Flame Zone, I think that Alberhastic is able to overcome Virtus. Again, not with ease, because none of Alberhastic's matchups are easy. He is frail, and his damage output isn't the highest, but he has really solid AoE, so he can capitalize on people that are evasive, and has just a lot of abilities. So he doesn't really have as much of a weakness offensively as, say, a one trick would have. So I think that he's able to take down Virtus. Again, tough matchup. Although I might be a bit biased here because I do like Alberhastic. So I don't see how Virtus wins, but maybe there is a way.
Mayhaps. Missing.
Ultimately, Alberhastic pushes forward. I think that it's definitely not very exciting of a matchup unless you're an Alberhastic fan. Like if you were a Virtus fan or even just a fan, I mean, I guess if you're just a fan of Cage Match, then Alberhastic really puts on a good show. So like if you're just a fan of the sport, or if you're an Alberhastic fan, you definitely feel like you got a good matchup
Has
here.
this dick.
Oh.
You know what? I think that makes Virtus win. Alberhastic can't recover from this. But Alberhastic's moving on to the next round.
Yeah, Virtus is kind of just a slow, chunky lizard, honestly.
All right. We're in the quarterfinals. Yeah, quarterfinals. We're in top 8 now. All right, so we're going back up to the top of the bracket, and this is match number 18, and it's going to be between Night Fox Yoho and
Warms the
Lava
edge of his seat.
The arc of this tournament, the hero of this manga, is Lava Chromanium. Will he be able to overcome the hero of this hentai, not Night Fox Yoho?
No.
You can't just say no, Worm. You have to. You
I
can't
wasn't
just say
actually
no.
paying attention, but I heard Night Fox Yoho, so I tuned in.
Worm, you want to loan an egg 15,000 gold?
15?
Yep.
Yeah, if it's a loan.
As long as I get it back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the interest racks up.
Double tomorrow.
I just can't do my raids. Actually, wait. We could do our raid on I guess I can just take rest bonus. We need to do Fulton. I can get gold from that. And maybe an item. We'll do that instead.
Okay.
So I personally think that Night Fox Yoho doesn't have a chance against Lava Chromanium.
Watch your mouth.
Who
kid.
is Night Fox Yoho up against?
Lava Chromanium.
Oh yeah, she stands no shot. Like this is like he gets angry that she's not taking it seriously and just does a belly flop, and then we have to tell everybody to take their kids away because this isn't going to be pretty once we get the turtle off of the fox.
Seen a turtle take a fox from behind.
This is the first time that we get to see Night Fox Yoho actually use her transformation ability, because in her previous matchups against the Scorpion, she was able to win primarily through just dashing and pouncing and stepping on the Scorpion. Whereas in this matchup, I feel that she's not able to overcome the defenses of Chromanium, and is a bit too preoccupied with fan service to the crowd in order to really take the fight seriously.
Prancing around
And
the arena and such.
is she definitely gave us a lot of ticket sales and has sold a lot of merch. So it was a successful tournament for Yoho, even though
even if she loses, she's only gonna get fan sympathy.
Yeah. And
Lava Chromanium's definitely not picking up any fans.
Way more fans. And Chromanium is still mad because again, our arc of Chromanium is that he's the big brother to Chromanium, and he took him out early. Gets called out by his uncle Congolanium, and in his previous matchup was actually pushed to the edge, and is just has a fire under him and within him.
This might have something to do with him being made of lava.
Yeah. And I think he just goes all out against Night Fox Yoho. And he's actually more mad that it takes him a while to win the fight.
I thought we were doing Bolton.
Well, I have to finish my Kungulaniums.
Okay. I thought you said you were gonna rest that.
No, that's my Arcana. This is my Bard.
Oh, fine.
I fight a bunch of turtles.
Okay, fair enough.
Turns out in a cage match, I would win.
I do think that one of the highlight moments of the entire arc will come, though, when Lava Chromanium gets turned into a fox temporarily. Because Yoho will definitely have to break out that maneuver, and Chromanium will not be able to dodge the tornadoes, seeing as he's a turtle.
A turtle.
He's fighting Flame Fox at the moment, though, right?
No, he's fighting Night Fox.
No, Night Fox.
Yeah. But I don't think Night Fox Yoho is able to... Because, like...
Oh, yeah, Night Fox still stands no shot.
He doesn't take enough damage, even in Fox form. That, like... I don't think he even gets pushed to enrage here, but he does get mad because he feels like he's being toyed with, and, he thinks that cage match should be, a tournament of power, not a tournament of fan service, and doesn't really respect Night Fox Yoho, even after the match, and is, maybe correct in his ways, but maybe wrong in his ways. Maybe it is an entertainment service and not such a pure sport, but that's for future fights to decide. Lava Chromania moves on to the semifinals, and our next match is between, let's do the math, Akatis, who barely pulled forward from Descaluda in the last round, and Panu Matin, the absolute Giga Beast, the monkey. Akatis has been barely surviving, whereas the opponents of Hadu Matin have not survived.
Yeah.
I mean, Hadu Matin can definitely do the color and shape match. He is monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think this is a reprieve for Hadu Matin. That he's feeling a little zen after his fight with the tree. And he doesn't absolutely demolish Akatis in that it is not a challenge in any way for Hanu Matin. And I wouldn't say toys with Akatis, but while he does take the fight seriously, he clearly has no problems and is easily able to dismantle Akatis. He is easily able to do the destruction check on the wings. He does the shape matchup. The lasers are almost nothing, just not even a challenge. Hanu Matin, easy win. I don't think Akatis has any chance.
I think Akatis has a chance to do some damage, but monkey.
Yeah, some damage surely, but not winning.
What? We're in the flaming arena, right?
Correct. We are in the flaming arena.
Okay. Okay, is fine here too. Monkey's OP, honestly. Hanu's probably got
I mean,
a lot
he's
of
had some-
Hanu's got a lot of fans going for him, honestly.
He did pick up a lot of fans early in the tournament who were very interested in the blood sport. And I think he's somewhat disappointed those fans by facing a tree in the second round, which did not bleed, and then not going ape shit in this round, and therefore not causing the bloody mess that his fans kind of wanted. But at the same time, I think that this picks him up a lot of other fans who are admirers of the sport of Guardian Cage Match, and are happy to see that, you know, he still takes his fight seriously, even though he clearly outclasses his opponent, and is able to still put on a good fight, even though it is clearly not a similar power level.
Don't actually know if Hanu has an element he's weak to. I think it's dark. I think he's weak to dark.
I mean, a lot of the Dark Guardians have already been knocked out
Yeah.
by other people.
Oh, MVP. Yeah, this one
We'll
looks
see,
a lot
though.
better this way.
We're getting pretty close to the end here. We got like 6, 7 more matchups. So our next matchup will be Eligos versus Congolanium.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think this is one of our most hyped matchups.
We're gonna need a new stadium.
Eligos has been pulling through in pretty robust fashion, having demolished Lumaris and had a hard fought, mainly in terms of it destroyed the stadium, matchup versus Frostelgia. And I think you're right that he is poised to have another matchup destroy the arena, both through Congolanium actually just creating a new ice age upon this.
Ooh, Congolanium's
land.
very weak to lightning.
Ooh.
Yeah, it says it on here, on the thingy. Congolanium's very weak to lightning.
Oh, you might not be able to pull through then.
And Caligos literally is a storm. Like, he brings a storm down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's still a good matchup. Congolanium still puts up a hard fight.
But Caligos has the speed and the offense for this one, actually.
I think so, yeah. Is finally able to meet the destruction check.
Yeah.
For the first time, we see a turtle break.
Mm-hmm.
None of the other matchups, except for regular Chromanium, when he faced Lava Chromanium, had a turtle shell break. And I think that in the stands, you hear a gasp as the shell breaks. And the gasp came from Lava Chromanium. He didn't actually want to see his uncle go down like this.
Stadium seating is fucking big. We put Chromanium in it. Lava Chromanium in it.
Yeah.
He won't get to have his rematch. Or his match.
Yeah, and on the other side of the stadium is the rest of Chromanium's family.
Yeah.
Or Congolanium.
All of the seats were bought out by Congolanium's family.
Turtles. Yeah. It's just only turtles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Eligos has his fans too.
Calventus is definitely
alive. Calventus is in the hospital.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Calventus, if you will recall from in his earlier matchup against Aggression, got partially digested.
Yeah.
Calventus is not in attendance today. I mean, it's a hard match to watch because Eligos, it's not like he's toying with him, and Congolanium is certainly putting out a lot of damage, but it was a match not fought on paper, but won on paper by the lightning. Just
lots of lightning.
It's just too difficult of a matchup for him, and you know, eventually the turtle must fall.
Incapacitate turtle. Caligos isn't brutal enough to murder, though.
Yeah, this isn't a hard feelings matchup. This is, you know, they both get to go home at the end of the day and return to their families. And I feel we were expecting Congolanium to take the mic again, as he had in his previous two matchups, but he doesn't because, you know, he lost. So it's time for him to go. Caligos also doesn't take the mic because he's a dragon.
He's a dragon. Dragons are too badass, so it would disappoint his fans.
Yeah. But they talk to each other outside of the recording, and you can definitely see that they have a mutual respect for each other.
Dragon and turtle, best friend.
Yeah, they're both the old folks, the uncle and the ancient dragon, and they've been doing this for a while now. And with that, we enter our final semi-final round. No, not semi-final, quarter-final round. I've done brackets before, certainly. And we get to see Son of Ale again versus... Wait, we said Son of Ale beat Erection, right?
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah, we had our cinematic moment of them both entering in rage at the same time.
Did we have to build another stadium?
I think we did, yeah. I think that... Or we either had to build another stadium or the fire affinity of the previous stadium is invalidated due to it being frozen over by the...
It's just cold rock. It's just hard. It's just solid rock now.
Where once there was lava flow, now there is just basalt.
Yep. Okay, who we fighting?
We don't have enough funding to create another stadium, so we still have to use this one. So we have Flaming Tree, Son of Ale, versus Alberhastic.
Ooh.
I wouldn't
Dog
say
in the
dark
fight?
horse, but yeah, my favorite to win. Maybe not favorite to win, but favorite to participate.
Favorite to not get dismembered, please.
Please, please don't hurt my boy. So, he is a flaming tree. I'll admit that. And Alberhastic doesn't have all that much going for him. He's just a dude. But like just being a guy with a lot of tactics and AoE, I feel like he has the ability to win here. I admit I don't know much about Son of Ale, but if he is similar to Levinos, which I have fought, then I don't think he puts out enough damage. Like
Alberhastic is very squishy.
Alberhastic is very squishy, but he also puts out a lot of
He's
damage.
very tactical.
And I feel like in the Levinos fight, which is the only thing I can pull from, so I don't know if it's the exact same in the Son of Ale fight, but when you do a lot of damage to Levinos and you break his destruction and you cause him to spawn trees a lot, he can often get preoccupied with not actually doing damaging moves. And Alberhastic is intelligent enough and has enough firepower that I feel like he could meet that criteria and would be able to end the match by barely surviving the enrage and causing a lot of the early fight to be spent with Son of Ale doing defensive things when, like, if Son of Ale was able to actually just go out and do his offense and really pump into into Alberhastic, then I think Alberhastic would lose. I don't think he can withstand an onslaught for very long. But he is a guardian. It's not like he is made of paper. He's just made of thick paper. And I feel like if he is able to keep the onslaught going in the early phase, that he can maybe survive the enrage and pull out the win. I don't know, though. I think it's very possible he also loses in the enrage. But it's definitely going to the enrage of Son of Ale. Now, is Alberhastic smart enough, which I think he might be, to where he can push him to the enrage, and then after the enrage happens, he then unleashes like his one-shot ability and like pushes it all the way to the end from enrage to dead very quickly, so he doesn't have to sit in that phase for a while. I think that's possible.
Worm muted himself. Sadness.
The Cabal got to him.
I think it's reasonable. Oh.
I mean, it's once again just a fantastic matchup from Alberhastic, really putting his intellect on display here, and it's really his knowledge of the game, and his love, honestly, of the game. That he's such a student of it that he's able to recognize his opening and play towards his victory condition of not sustaining much damage early and then really pumping at the end. I mean, it's just a flawless performance by Elberhastic as he moves on to the semifinals.
No bias here.
No bias here.
Dude, I keep
So,
getting people
our-
asking me how to join my guild. I don't really know the full process. I'd ask how I got here. I don't know.
I would ask how you got here, yeah. Tell him you gotta know someone.
I think that's the way, actually.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's a good way.
You're back. I was waiting for
All
you.
right, we have our semifinal matchups here. And our first semifinal is between Lava Chromanium and who's our other participant here? Hanu, obviously. Hanu versus Lava Chromanium. I think this is actually a tough fight for Hanu.
I think this is the first time his armor breaks.
Yeah,
But
and
man,
actually
does he... I don't know. It's like...
keep in mind, Lava Chromanium has gone through a lot to get here emotionally. Like, none of his matchups have been particularly difficult. We can review and say he's fought his younger brother, Chromanium, which was not a challenge for him. He's fought Velganos, which was certainly a tough opponent. He's fought Night Fox Yoho, which angered him, although didn't provide that much of a challenge. So he's had emotional turmoil and difficult fights. But I think in some ways that hardens him as a participant. And he's not going to succumb to any cheap tricks. And he's obviously has a lot of firepower. And he has a reason to want it. He wants to continue on, even though his uncle was defeated by the dragon, and prove that he has what it takes.
I
Unfortunately,
think in terms
I
of
don't
raw
think he has what
skill,
it takes.
in terms of raw skill and power, I think multiple formed Hanu with Enrage is not going to be beaten by just an angry turtle, especially a turtle that's not really that intelligent.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Hanu absolutely just pummels him, and he's able to meet the destruction check. And any time a destruction check is met on our turtles, it spells doom for them. And
Poor turtle.
it continues that. And while Lava Chromanium is able to dig deep, he's able to push Hanu more than any other has pushed Hanu, more than all of his opponents have pushed him. That Hanu Matin is able to maybe go to Enrage. I don't even know if he gets to Enrage, honestly, but I think that Lava Chromanium has shown that he can get him to Enrage. And Hanu in Enrage mode, just like, it's turtle soup.
Turtle soup.
He makes turtle soup by actually just pounding him into a mush, and it's just an absolute.
We need a turtle vet. We need a turtle doctor.
But it's a lava bath. The frozen land, I will remind everyone that our arena was once a lava land that got frozen over by Cungalanium. But as the insides of Lava Chromanium become the outsides, it reignites the lava in this land. And it's just an absolute
Monkey angry?
bath.
We're not having... Lava Chromanium doesn't
Monkey
get to go home
match.
walking.
Yeah.
He might not be going home.
He's gonna have a hospital bed right next to Calventus.
Yeah.
They're down the hallway from the morgue that has Helgia.
Yeah. What happened to Flame Elgia?
That is Helgia is Flame Helgia.
Oh yeah, Frost one got fucking pummeled, but
Frost
not
Helgia.
ruined. That's right.
Frost Helgia got beat up by Caligos.
Yeah. Yep.
Who doesn't actually hospitalize his opponents, unlike Anu Matin and Aggression.
Unfortunate. Not enough blood for the fans.
I mean, this one certainly had enough blood for the fans.
Enough lava flow.
And yeah, I think Anu Matin gets pushed into the finals. Although he's shown a lot of his cards. He's enraged. He's done all his transitions. I think he's done all of his attacks. So everything's out in the open for him.
Who's our other finalist? Our semifinal fight.
The next semifinal fight is between my favorite Albert Hastic and Eligos. Unfortunately for me, I think this is the end of the road. There's no way the plucky little hometown team of Albert Hastic can take on the Patriots. That is Eligos, the seasoned veteran. He might be old, but also he's wise. He can fly, and the AoE of Albert Hastic isn't big enough of an AoE to take down a dragon. I think that it's still a good matchup. Albert Hastic has some tricks up his sleeve. Both of these fighters are students of the game. They aren't going to go down easily. Certainly not Eligos. In fact, he's not going to go down at all. He's going to win. But I think that there's some good moments from Albert Hastic, and that if you are a fan, as I am, of Albert Hastic, that you can come away from this fight knowing that he gave it his all, and that it's it's entertaining to say the least.
That would be a lots of movement fight.
Yeah, certainly a spectacle, and especially with the lava just bubbling back to life in the arena, it would be a very cinematic experience. That I think we would sell a lot of tickets for it because it's a semifinals match, and I think that everyone will be pleased with the value of their tickets. So, overall, pretty good.
Omega value.
Lives up to its semifinal. Finally, we enter our final match.
Of the hardest two Guardians in the game.
But before we enter our final match, we get to have our bronze matchup, which is between Albert Hastic and Lava Chromanium. Unfortunately, Lava Chromanium is in the hospital and so is unable to attend the match. And so, by default,
Albert Hastic is third place.
Third place.
What's up, Leo? Oh.
Kind of a disappointing bronze matchup to have it a walkover, but, what are you going to do?
One of our opponents can't walk.
Yeah. At least not Honda Martins. All right, so our last matchup of the day is between Panu Matin and Eligos. It is really a matchup of ferocity versus experience. Hanu Matin has been really just dismantling his opponents. Not necessarily in the mind, but actually their mind being dismantled. And
literally broken.
Really just has gone through the bracket with just a lot of raw strength. Not much strategy involved, but he really hasn't had to deploy that much strategy. Against Levinos, he was able to capitalize on Levinos' own ability and take his tree.
Beat the shit out of the tree.
Beat the shit out of him. Beat the shit out of the tree with a tree. So, he definitely has the capacity to come up with interesting and unique strategies, but hasn't had to employ it that often. Eligos has had to have a lot of just raw firepower in a lot of his matchups, notably against Frost Helgia in the Tundra, and has contributed to the scenery changing and having to make new tournament grounds, not once but twice. And admittedly, Hanu Matin has also changed the arena once, so they're somewhat equally matched in that regard.
They love making us buy new arenas.
I think that being able to fly is a pretty big advantage, especially since he has the ranged abilities of lightning as well,
Hmm.
and that I'm not sure Matin would be able to have. I mean, he would eventually get him out of the sky, I'm sure. He is
Matin also
Monke.
does have affinity for storm, but
So you might not be very hurt by
yeah,
Eligos. That's a good point to bring up.
he also has a lot of armor. Caligos does have a really fucking cool attack though, which is where he huddles the ground and makes an impenetrable sphere of light and then just rains lightning all around him constantly, like a long time.
I wonder if that would be his downfall, though. Because I wonder if he would go for that attack thinking he needed the power to get through Hanamaten, and then that's exactly the trap card that needed to be pulled, where he lands, and that's where he messed up. And even though he's surrounded by a shield, I think that you just, as the Monke, you just leap on top of the shield, and now eventually he has to drop the shield, and
Mhm.
at that point you're on the dragon's back. And I think once you get into close range, Hanumaten is just able to
If
maybe
Hanumaten
not.
grabbed the dragon would not move after being let go.
Yeah, I think this is either a neck snap or like rip the jaws apart. It's kind of brutal, honestly, the finish here, which really is
This is a
disappointing.
monkey walking into the distance, dragging the dragon by the neck kind of
Yeah,
angle.
and
Or dragon.
it's a really sad finish to what was a legacy for Cal Eligos, who a seasoned fighter is able to be taken out here in a little bit of disgrace. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. Sometimes it is the Monke who wins. Sometimes it's just about drive and about power. And Hanumaten, he stays hungry and he devours. Uh, it's uh, a matchup that I think was largely won due to his defensive affinity, but uh, certainly I think some of the fans might take it the wrong way and say it was just the raw power. But for those astute uh, that are really in tune with what's going on, they'll know that it was really the defense power that was able to acquire victory for our Monke.
Yeah, monkey
Uh,
very defense.
and
Oh
again,
man.
I mean, I don't think this one goes to enrage. I think that Hanumaten is just able to win without the enrage. I think Cal Eligos misjudges and goes for his ultimate attack, and it's not enough. And I don't know that he was fully anticipating just the ferocity of Hanumaten after he left himself that vulnerable. Kind of a disappointing finish for our fans of Cal Eligos, but uh, for the cabal that Hanumaten has picked up, I think that you know it's it's the result they wanted. Maybe not as much blood because it's a lot of internal bleeding, but I think that ends our Guardian Cage match with
Nice.
first place going to Hanumaten, second place to Cal Eligos, third place Alberhastic.
Everybody saw
Alberhastic
it coming.
question mark.
Yeah, Alberhastic only due to
Only
walkover,
due
but
to
that's
chromium being
he
pulp.
still gets third place. That's just because your opponent was too injured to show up doesn't not through your own fault, but through the fault of other people. That's the way the cookie crumbles.